Hi guys, Fly Girl VSG coming into you with my week 72 post-op VSG update. So lots of stuff to report because obviously this is my first video back since WLSFA and the Dreaming at Sea cruise. So I'll try to keep it as short as possible. I know you've seen lots of videos already going around. I was trying to wait for my regular weekly update. I'm just going to jump right into the numbers since it's just my MO. I started the 2-week pre-op diet at 301.2. I was 291.8 day of surgery. I weighed in the Thursday before WLSFA, so the day before I left, at 183.6. I weighed in Monday, this last Monday, coming back at 184.4, so only a gain of 0.8, but I weighed in this morning at 185.4, so 1.8 pound gain, for a total loss of 115.8 pounds. I'm totally pleased with that. I mean, I ate whatever I want. I didn't really feel like I ate that badly, but I definitely drank. I also didn't drink a ton, comparatively, and I certainly didn't drink Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I had like a glass of wine on Sunday, actually. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I haven't had anything to drink. So a week almost. But that's okay. I actually, yesterday was a rough day eating wise. I had macaroni and cheese, of course, shocking. I had a bagel. And I also ate a bunch of candy. So it was bad. I'm just going to make myself just quite at home here. But you know, also I wanted to just mention, because my hair looks a little different today, that I tried to curl it. And so it's kind of, fucked. But apparently with enough hairspray, I can get sexy bedhead. So, I mean, I've got sexy bedhead, right? Okay. That was unnecessary. So I don't really know what to say about WLSFA and the cruise. I mean, it was so much fun. It was so great. I have never been to anything like this before. I mean, I've been to the meet and greets in Portland, smaller ones for sure. The one in Seattle last year, I think there was there was less than 20 of us. Maybe about 20. I think less, though. I think 20 sounds about right, 15 to 20. Wafflepalooza, obviously, there was probably like closer to 30 or 40 people, but I didn't even talk to everybody because I was so nervous. That was my first big event last year. I was only like 5 months out of surgery. And so I didn't know what to expect. And a lot of people, you know, I had been talking to online or kind of knew who they were, but had no expectation of being able to talk or establish relationships with them. So that was really, really great. So, there were just a bunch of people that I met. I can't even put into words how great it was. WLSFA, I would say, as a conference wasn't really all that interesting. The vendors even weren't all that interesting. I mean, I ended up giving a lot of my swag away just because I don't use chewable vitamins. So I think it's really good, like conference-wise, probably for someone newer in the process. For someone who's not ever been to one of these things before and going in it almost a year and a half out, it wasn't that beneficial. I did go to one panel just to support Kirk, but and that was great. I loved that panel. I also really enjoyed listening to Wendy talk and meeting her. I wish I'd gotten to spend more time with her, actually. I think she's pretty great, but yeah, I just, there were so many people. I actually, wasn't really paying attention and didn't know that Tara and Courtney were going to be there. And I really liked them and really enjoyed them and wish I'd gotten to spend more time with them. And let's see, of course, there's, the real Cher Bear and Elizabeth and, watching Patty melt. Those three, they're kind of like 3 peas in a pod. I swear, they're so great. You know, I'm in book club with Elizabeth and Sherry and Patty. They're just total crushes of mine, of course, and just getting to know them a little bit. Again, I wish I had more time. I spent quite a bit of time with Sherry, which was great, but I wish I'd had more time to get to know and talk to Patty and Elizabeth. Of course, there's just the waffles. I mean, but they're friends anyway, and I just love them. And so Kirk had told me before going into this at some point that when I met Tanya VSG 2011, she would blow my mind. And I was like, yeah, I mean, you know, obviously I binge watched Tanya when I was pre-op and thought I was going to go all fangirl. But on the back of my head, I was like, she's just a person. She puts her pants on the same way I do. But he was right. Like, when I met her and started talking to her, even just briefly at WLSFA, because she was busy, I was just like, oh my God, you're so great. I mean, she's just so sweet and perfect. And she's way hot. I mean, I already thought she was pretty, but she's way attractive in person. It's her charisma. She's just amazing. And then there's the crews, the Mahonies and Christina and Gracie and Melly and Rain Hampton was there, and that was cool. I didn't know who she was and got to know her a little bit. And Gastric Tiger and his wife, Bridget, which was fun. Katie, Kirk. I didn't really get to spend much time. There was another couple there. I didn't get to spend much time with them. But they were nice. And then of course Tiana and her husband were very nice. Everyone, I mean, I'm not doing anybody justice. I'm kind of just doing lip service because I could go on and on and on and on. So it was great. Especially because at WLSFA I shared a room with Christina and the Mahonies, who I'm close with anyway. Like, also, in addition to spending time with them, I spent a good amount of time with them as individually offline. So I know I love them, but they are just great. They are just all great. Christina, I just think is just adorable and funny, and she's just great. I just adore her. And I really like the support system that Jennifer and Christina and I have set up just amongst the three of us that we have, and it makes me feel really good. And then, I was in a room with Roxy, who's not super active in the community, but she's around. And Lauren, oh my God, Lauren, seriously. And I've met Lauren before, and we've talked a little bit offline too, but spending time with her, she's just so hilarious and funny and sweet, and she's just good people. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing else to say about any of these people other than they're just good people, and I think, I don't know, for some reason sometimes that's hard to find, but yet there's such a surplus in this community of just good people, and I feel like I'm good people, so I like having good people in my space. So anyway, I shared a bunk with Lauren and Roxy and Christina on the ship, and I never once got sick of any of them. They just kept me laughing and entertained, and I spent time with everyone, and I just had a blast. Of course, Christina, being patient zero, started Carnivola, and then we all subsequently got sick, but I am a little congested at this point. It's probably allergies. My voice came back. I lost my voice Saturday, the first weekend at WLSFA, and didn't get back till yesterday. And it's still even just a touch scratchy. So, and I've been on back-to-back interviews with my job, so I'm surprised that I have it back at all. I feel like I have a little stray poke. Anyway, I'm being vain, but so anyway, I have all the feels all the time since coming back. I'm glad to be back home in my routine. I actually do miss my boyfriend, and I did kind of miss my job because I like it. And my other real life friends. I mean, these are all my real life friends now too. But my day-to-day people, and that's not coming out right. My non-WLS friends. But yeah, I think Tanya probably is the one that blew me away the most. I was so impressed by her, and wish I'd gotten to spend more one-on-one time. It was so busy. There are 24 of us on that cruise, I think, and so it was busy. And yeah, I really hope I get to see her again someday. And Lauren is coming to Wafflepalooza, which is amazing, and I'm gonna just hog her and take her wine tasting and show her a little bit about Portland. We won't have a lot of time. She's just coming in for like 3.5 days. And of course I have to work on one of the days. So it'll be a little, she can relax that day. But I'm going to take her wine tasting and do some Portland things. I'll take her to Voodoo Donuts, which I don't think is that good. But, it's kind of a staple. You have to do it. And maybe some brunch on Sunday, depending on how we're feeling after Wafflepalooza. It'll be fun. I love the waffles. They throw a great party. Let's see what else. Yeah, I just had a great time. And if I'm leaving anyone out, obviously I'm an idiot. I'm not an asshole, but I am an idiot. And didn't write anything down. I was completely unprepared for this video. And I'm also trying to not make it 30 minutes. So yeah, my best friend had surgery yesterday, so that was interesting. So I should be heading back home now and resting. I feel like in terms of my friend group, I kind of started a trend. I mean, obviously it's not about me, but I wish I think it's amazing. And I hope that they feel that I am there to support them, because I certainly feel a different level of kinship with people that I know personally that are getting the surgery and wanting to be able to offer any insight and just be there for support. Certainly not necessarily advice, because, everybody's process is different. But just insight and support and letting them know that I'm here. So if you're watching, I'm here for you. My best friend's not watching, so she didn't watch any of my videos, which I think is, she asked me the other day, do you think it's weird that I don't watch your videos? I was like, a little bit, because, you're going through this process and don't you want to know what to expect? And she goes, but I talked to you. And I was like, God, I haven't really seen her or talked to her all year, actually, this year. So I was like, okay, well, I don't really talk about that stuff with you, because, I said, but no, I mean, whatever, do you. So yeah, we'll see. If she ends up kind of leaning on me or kind of following her own path. And I mean, we're obviously very close friends. So, that's the most important thing. Whether I'm very engaged in her process or she's very engaged in mine is beside the point. So, that's really all I have to report. I'm definitely eating better today. I did have a donut. But for the most part, I had chicken salad. And I had sweet potato hash this morning, and I'm going out to dinner with friends, and it's a great place. It'll be easy to make good choices. And yeah, so yeah, I tried to curl my hair. So 2 things I learned this week about myself. One, I should not try flower arranging. It doesn't go well. And I can't curl my hair to save my. I mean, I don't even see a curl. I mean, it's wavy, but there's no curls in there. I don't know what to do with myself. I can't style. I wish I had some gifts. I mean, Gracie, she did my hair one night, and Lauren did my hair one night during WLSFA. And I think Lauren actually helped me with my hair again another night on the cruise. And they've got skills, man. They can do some shit with their hair and stuff. And I'm just like, I don't know what to do. I'm surprised that I don't wake up with it in like a knot, or I don't have dreads or something, because I'm a mess. Anyway, so I pretty much think that compound living is the only way to go. And I volunteered the Mahonies they have land out here, out about 40 minutes out of town. And I volunteered them for us to make our compound. So, Jennifer and Kevin, if you're watching this, I'm coming to build my yurt. And I love you guys. I love everybody. Oh my God, I have so much love in my heart. And I know I sound so enthusiastic because I'm still like super tired and kind of like coming down from the vacation, but it was just so much fun. My heart is so full. I feel so lucky. I feel so blessed to have made these connections. And yeah, I mean, it's just wonderful. It's just wonderful. Got to meet Lori and Michelle and a bunch of other Renee bands, I think, that all watch me, and I got to meet them and interact with them on some level, at least a little bit, and it was just wonderful. So anyway, that's it. I'm gonna just cut this off now because I'm so boring. I hope to be more dynamic and have some actual specified topic for next week. If there's anything that you guys want me to touch on for next week, or anything specific you want me to talk about, just post in the comments below and I'll add that to my list of things to talk about. Since I am a year and a half out and I am still making weekly updates, at some point, it'd be good to have like a concentrated topic. I know that I brought this up several weeks ago, and I still don't have your guys' thoughts on this. In terms of the whole goal weight versus percent of weight loss. I would like to know what you think. So if you didn't watch that video, go back and watch it, and basically making a case for our expectations in terms of have you lost 60 to 80% of your excess weight and how that relates to your goal weight. And would you be okay with staying at that 60, 80% rate and never getting to your, is your goal weight too much of an is my goal weight too much of an expectation when doctors say about 80%. So, and I'm at 75%. So can I expect to lose, 4 or 5 more percent, only like 10 pounds? That doesn't bring me to the number that I wanted to be at, but is it unreasonable? So I want to know your thoughts. Seriously. No one's really commented on that. I've asked it a couple weeks in a row, and I really wanted some discussion on this. I'm curious as to what you guys think, because I haven't really formed an opinion yet. And so obviously I'm impressionable and need somebody to tell me what to do. Okay. Have a wonderful week, you guys. Have a good weekend. Oh, and I still have my fancy manicure. Can you believe that? That's like the best manicure ever. This is going on this is my second full week. So I'm going to see if I can last it through the weekend and all that stuff. But All right, you guys, keep it fly out there.